It's a podcast from Steam Powered Giraffe. It's the Bennettarium. We got nobody but David and Chelsea on the podcast today because they're sick or unavailable on the Bennettarium. Okay, that one didn't time very well. It's the Bennettarium. And it's starting right now. Okay. I haven't warmed up, and I feel like I just woke up. I woke up an hour ago.
Yeah. Same here.
So,
it's cool. I got my tea.
but we'll be awake by the end of the podcast. So yeah, Bunny is sick right now. So she wasn't feeling up to doing it naturally, and everyone else that we could get wasn't available, so this will be the first podcast where there's only two of us on. So,
yay!
We'll see how that goes. It should be fine. But
oh yeah.
So it looks like we got we handpicked some questions. Well, Chelsea did, and hopefully we'll be able to answer some.
Got a lot of questions this week. I don't know why the last episode I was like struggling to find questions, but thanks for sending them in, guys.
But yeah, I was thinking maybe we could we'll play some song requests. So maybe Chelsea collects those as well, or I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Or I'll just run through like whatever songs I can think of off the top of my head. Like, you know.
Yeah, do you want
Steam
me to
Powered Giraffe songs?
I can ask Twitter or just the Engineer-eteers chat, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, either way.
Okay.
I'll
post it to Twitter.
We have some podcasts to fill, so.
Yeah.
Before we do that stuff, let's there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today at this this is January 22nd, 2017.
Yeah.
Well, we're supposed to introduce ourselves.
We should introduce ourselves.
Oh, the podcast is falling apart already.
Go ahead.
My name's Chelsea Pena. I'm not. Chelsea. My name's David Michael Bennett, and I play the Spine in Steam Powered Giraffe.
My name is Chelsea Penyak, and I play a Walter worker with Steam Powered Giraffe. I do stuff on and off stage for the band. And also, today is Steam Powered Giraffe's anniversary.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, that's not the
Probably mention that first.
Yeah, the January 22nd is the official anniversary of Steam Powered Giraffe. We started January 22nd, 2008, at Balboa Park. That was the first time we went out there. So that's when we created the group.
Wow.
Essentially. So that day usually lands on a day that we do an anniversary show, but we weren't able to acquire a theater this year. So instead of doing a show on what is today, Sunday? We would have done it Saturday, probably the 21st. But instead of doing that, we're doing a show in February.
Yeah.
So a little less than a month from now.
That'll be more of like a Valentine's Day show.
Yeah.
A few days after.
It won't be an anniversary show. But plus next year's our 10-year anniversary, so that's way more special to have an anniversary show on.
Oh yeah. And also, if I'm not mistaken, last year, January 22nd, 2016 was a special day for Bunny too, because it was the day she officially got her name changed.
Yeah.
And I think she pick that date on purpose?
I don't know.
Or was it coincidence?
If only she was here to be no.
Yeah.
We'll have to save that question for next time she's on, which hopefully will be soon, because she was busy last time and now she's sick, and I was sick last week. That's why we didn't do the podcast. Apologies to anyone who didn't have that content that you desperately needed to survive. No.
So anyway,
so let's see what's happened since last podcast.
For me personally,
we have a new president of the United States.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Oh boy.
And then there was a women's march yesterday.
Yeah, it was a very momentous 2 days, I'd say, in world history.
I mean, you don't need to hear it from us, but we
I'm
have
sure
to mention
everyone's hearing about it.
We have to mention it just so there's a landmark. So if anyone who listens to this podcast is like, didn't that happen just before that podcast? How come they didn't talk about it?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, this is some big stuff happening in terms of history. Like, I have no doubt that, this is this time in our lives is going to be remembered in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I can just see the children's history books now where it's just a picture of a kid with this sign saying, Trump eats farts. You see that picture? That was a good one.
I didn't see that one. I saw some really good protest signs. I was telling David earlier, I saw one on Twitter, like some mom had tweeted, like, stand up for what you believe in. And she, I don't know if it was her kid, but she like posted a picture of a little 6-year-old at the protest holding a sign that said, I like trains.
But see, yeah, it's funny, but it's also
funny.
makes sense for someone that young who can't really comprehend
exactly
the issues we're dealing with in
I
society.
thought that was clever because if you're going out to a march and you're bringing a young child who can't really comprehend why they're there, it's like, yeah, that's cute. And that's a good idea to give them something that like they can actually, they do believe in, you know. But anyway, it was...
Suffice to say, it definitely
was
it's a big day, record-breaking numbers. The Trump inauguration, not so much.
Nowhere near.
In fact, pretty much alternate truth or whatever.
Yeah.
What are they calling it?
Alt-truth. I don't know.
Alternate.
There's so much
facts. Alternate facts.
There
or something
is
like that.
so much information and news being pushed out constantly ever since the election that it's hard to keep up and, you know, feel like assured that you have all the information and know everything that's going on. It's kind of insane. Like,
but yeah, I didn't vote for this guy, and
yeah,
I know a lot of people didn't. And if they did, I
Yeah.
know there's a few regrets, and I don't know.
oh yeah. I mean,
I don't want to get too into politics, but that's.
I think it's important to touch on it, though. It's not like we're going to talk about it the whole 2 hours, but
No,
like we shouldn't ignore it.
No, I mean, it's you're going to hear it everywhere. You don't need to hear it from a robot band you're just trying to have a good time,
Yeah.
right?
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I didn't vote for him.
But yeah, I mean, you know, the issues that him being president and his cabinet and stuff definitely hit home for. I don't know. I'd say we're in California, so I guess
yeah.
stereotypically we're a little more progressive, and I would say that I guess everyone here kind of feels that way.
Yeah, we're surrounded by a lot of like-minded people, and not everyone has that advantage or privilege. You know?
We don't want to pigeonhole people in saying that if you live here you're a certain way. That's obviously not true, especially with the rallies and stuff. Like every state had them, and even when there was like I'm the only one, like one person would march, there was still like 50 people in what was it, Alabama or something?
I retweeted it. It was very heartwarming. I don't know how else to describe the feeling, but I loved seeing that. I loved going into the hashtag for the Women's March and just looking at everywhere around the globe and all over the country protesting. And I guess there was this little town of 360 people in Alabama, and even they had a 50-person meet up for the Women's March. And I don't know, it's really, I wouldn't say magical, you know, nothing about this situation is very feel good, but it's nice seeing that it's not just the big major cities, you know, there's people all over the place.
And it's not people butthurt or something. It's like, well, I mean, no one would be protesting if there was if there wasn't a reason to protest. And it's just I don't know, we haven't seen this in history. Not with
it's
what's
incredible.
It's
I read this. These are just facts. I just read this that yesterday's. It's called the Women's March, but I mean everyone knows it's a inauguration protest. Like that's why people went out. I read that they fact checked the numbers, and yesterday's inauguration protest was the largest since Nixon's, and it beat the numbers for Nixon's. So.
You mean beat as in the lower?
As far as the protest goes.
Oh, I thought you meant numbers.
The Trump inauguration protest, the Women's March yesterday, had higher numbers than the protests that happened for Nixon.
Right.
And his protest was the biggest before this one happened.
Right. Which makes sense if you look back on history, and I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't want either, and I mean, it's just...
But it's also, like, it's not comforting, but it's also kind of like, you know, if you're feeling really despairing and just, like, you, like, really depressed and, like, the world's gonna end, just remember that this kind of stuff happened in the past, too. There have been big protests for presidents in our
we
history.
haven't had a president quite like this.
No, this is different.
And I'll choose some choice words, as unprofessional and
Yeah.
I don't know. There's too many adjectives that I'm sure he describes himself. Pretty much not
Unqualified?
unqualified for the job, basically.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm not really afraid of pissing anyone off.
I'm not really.
I'm just gonna say it, unqualified.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone, because we have Bunny's transgender. Like, eventually, I mean, I know that's stupid to say that all Trump supporters are racists or homophobic or
Sure.
but at the same time, I can't imagine them listening to this.
Yeah, no, it's puzzling.
Podcast.
Like, of course, I'm not gonna like mention names or say who, but I know like people, friends of friends, or friends' parents who voted for Trump who are very progressive in as far as social issues, but they've been registered Republican all their lives, and they voted for him, and like I know these people. I know that they're not racist and homophobic, but there's a lot of other,
Well, it's the people that you're
economical
hearing.
things, financial reasons.
Yeah,
They'll vote for a certain party. They're not voting for Trump. They're voting for the Republican Party, and he was it. So it's frustrating because you want to tell those people like, well, like you don't have to vote Republican even though you're registered Republican, but it's messy. It's
with
messy.
the choices, I believe most people
It's
were
not
like,
black
well,
and
I don't want that person in there, but
It's
so
hard.
I'm not going to vote, or I'm going to vote for the person that I feel.
You can't convince someone just by saying don't vote for him.
Well, yeah. At any rate, like if you didn't vote, you voted for Trump. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not to point fingers or anything, but I mean,
No, but
that's just how it works. Like if there's
if
a
you-
bunch of people that know who they're voting for, and then you don't vote, it's like, well, you're just taking yourself.
Right. If
Like
you break it
yeah.
down and look at it logically, like I don't care, how much you want to argue the fact, but it's true.
Well, yeah. I mean, so
Not voting is a vote for the person you don't want.
yeah. I mean, you just have to. It's pretty obvious when you think about
Yeah.
it. But anyways, we don't have to really get into this. I mean.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
but
like
I think it was good to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I did not. I was with the protesters in spirit. I did not go out to the marches yesterday. I didn't really have anyone to go with, but I was there in spirit, and it meant a lot to me. It was this very elating feeling to watch all the news and the pictures come in on social media all day after the day before, which was pretty awful. Everyone I know just had a really terrible day on the 20th.
Yeah, I stayed inside the whole entire day, but I don't really go out too much. So if I did go out, I think something like that would have probably been like a good reason to go out. But I'm not that good a person, I suppose.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
you can call me a bad person for not wanting to go out and do it alone, but it's hard to get out there because and like you got to think about like, well, if I go alone, that's like, it's going to take a long time to find somewhere to park, and safety becomes an issue. Like you want to be safe and you want to do something like that with a group. So I would have gone out if circumstances were different, but I was there in spirit.
I would have gone out if I was a different person. That's so I'm going to say. I don't have any excuses for why I didn't go. I just, it's just not something I've ever done and don't do, but I'm sure there would be something in eventually I would be compelled to do stuff like this because I years ago, I mean, being young, like all I cared, I was graduating high school, and like I got to go to college, and politics weren't really in my brain.
Yeah.
But now that I'm on my own and I've been running my own business for years, like it matters to me now. That's my first time I voted. Like I skipped the first vote, like because I just didn't have the knowledge back then when I was a kid. And then my first vote, of course, was for Obama both times.
Yeah. I had turned 18 the spring of 2008, so that was my first election, and I've voted ever since for the big ones. I remember the presidential.
I remember people
elections.
friends getting angry at me for not too many friends, but a few people getting angry like I didn't vote. But they were also like 2 years ahead of me in high school, so it was I was just in a different place. Like, and then I was like, well, why do I care? And I still know a few friends who didn't care, and I'm like, well, if it's not in their life, they don't. And I mean, I don't really care to talk politics, but civil rights issues is what has pretty much brought that to the forefront for me. Like, I mean, if your life doesn't revolve around it, doesn't really concern you, I can see how you don't really get into it and you don't care. You just think everyone is terrible to vote for, so I'm not going to vote for anyone. And like that's kind of how I felt when I was a kid, but.
I think as you get older, you realize that, It's not always going to be good and evil, and like plenty of people didn't like Hillary, but a lot of them realized just by reading the facts and what was going on that like that's who you have to vote for if you don't want
Well, yeah, I mean,
the other guy.
because even
like,
a third party vote is essentially doing the same thing as as
Yeah.
not voting. Because I mean, electoral college. It's the way our crappy system is. Anyways, I still feel like we're going down the hole of talking about.
no, it's
politics
fine.
more.
I don't think I think we're riding the line, like we're being very civil and not
Sure.
neutral about it, but I think it's fine. When you said like if I was a different person I would have gone out, it reminded me of one of the my favorite signs I saw on Twitter was a sign that said, "So bad even the introverts are out."
Yeah, I mean,
I mean that's basically what happened. I mean the numbers were record. People who wouldn't go out and do this kind of stuff before are doing it.
yeah, I mean, being compelled.
So
I guess I don't want people to look into it too much and be like,
Yeah.
well, the people who didn't go out weren't compelled, and like, well, I mean.
no, yeah.
I it was definitely on my mind all day, and I was looking at Twitter. I mean,
Yeah.
I literally just
Not
had a
everyone
day of
can.
doing nothing, but
or wants to, but it doesn't mean they don't care.
it does also mean that we don't care as much. I would imagine
Well-
because we know we care, but we're not showing that we care. That's the problem.
I had a lot of grief in the morning knowing that I wasn't
Yeah,
going. But
it's hard to not
but
feel
the
bad about
people
yourself.
but the people who aren't going out, this day and age of social media gives them a purpose too. And the spreading of information, even if you're not out at the marches, every retweet or post, every retweet or reblog of one of those photos is spreading it to the world.
Well, yeah, it's helping the people who are actively watching that stuff for that thing. But I mean, to be fair, nothing's going to speak. Nothing. The internet isn't going to speak as loud as
No.
as what the marches yesterday, and that's that's what we can feel a little bad about is that doing a tweet doesn't mean anything really. It's not being active. It's like it's the very least you could do, and it's a very self-servicing thing, and that's how I feel about it. But I mean, I still retweeted stuff that I thought was like, oh, if I had followers, like here, look, you can kind of can digest
Yeah.
my. Not I don't know political opinions, but like views on the world and whatever stuff's going on, but also like stuff that I saw that was like yes, this kind of speaks to what's going on, and I don't retweet too much of that stuff, but
Well, I was very active on Twitter yesterday just because I wasn't out there.
Yeah.
I was trying to engage with
yeah, I
other
mean, there's not
friends
much
and
else
stuff
to do.
talking about it.
But no, it was good. I mean, it was positive. Once again, it's not to say it's a great thing, but it's an inspiring thing.
That's what Bernie
it's-
Sanders tweeted. Like, you tried to divide us and you only brought us closer together. I mean, like,
Well, I'm sure Trump and his people don't think that that's what they're doing. It's that
No.
they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Like I have a hard time.
no, but that
believing-
doesn't matter. They don't have to.
Yeah, no. There's some people who.
It's not like they're out there maliciously like, we're going to divide them.
No,
What-
people.
But
there's-
that's what he did.
I
so
don't think. Yeah, I don't. Supervillains don't really exist in the world. Like,
No.
and well, at least I wouldn't say Donald Trump and his cabinet are supervillains or something like where they're actually mean harm to other people. It's that they think that they know what's best for it, and that's the thing is it's misguided
Yeah.
stuff that for these policies that. I mean, you just have to look at the cabinet. It's like you're like, well, are they really gonna come together and all agree on stuff? Like, I don't know, but I don't want to get too much into like, because there's so much stuff out there. I mean, you can just read. I mean, the vice president supporting homosexual reformation camps, or what do they call them?
Not camps.
Brainwashing programs. I don't know.
He's an
just-
advocate of conversion therapy.
There you go. I should have said that instead of
And that's the
making
other
up
thing. Like,
something.
we need to hate these people and not want them in office because they have some really backward old views. But at the same time, I see a lot of people panicking, saying they're going to be sent to concentration camps for gay people, and that's not going to happen in the United States.
I mean, if that happens,
We are very lucky in the country we live in, and we can have some really awful people in office who have backwards views, but you're not going to be dragged away to a camp.
Well, I mean,
I'm not.
It has happened in the past.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm not like I am acknowledging that bad stuff has happened in the past, but I seriously doubt that that would happen.
Well,
today.
I mean, yeah, we're a little more progressive, and we do have. We are a democracy, so
Yeah.
I mean, if we're not a dictatorship yet. So,
Yeah.
but at the
we
same,
gotta stay in the know though. Like, don't become complacent and don't become apathetic or ignorant to what's going on. That's the only way to,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it as long as it's
keep
as
fighting.
long as this stuff is in everyone's minds almost every day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the only we can't ignore it. What most people are saying, we can't just forget about it. And it's big enough that it's hard. You wouldn't anyways. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird time.
Yeah.
It's one of those times where you're gonna look back and say, oh, I don't know, like what is the right thing to do? What I wish I could have done something more. Like, there's really, I don't know. That's how I feel from my point of view. Like,
Yeah. But everyone else who feels that, just know that we're all in it together.
But yeah, it's also, the division. Like, my parents voted for Trump. They didn't tell me, but they told, I think Bunny asked them. I don't remember, but it's a generation thing too. Like, these are good people, but there's still stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm generalizing, but there's still stuff that's brought from the baby boomer generation. Like, there's a little bit of it's not what is good for the country is not exactly what they think is good. I mean, they're a little out of touch with with society, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like I'm a little more in touch with society, like I imagine a lot of young people, is because, well, I'm out there all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, with Steam Powered Giraffe, I get to see a lot of people. I mean, granted, it's a lot of young people, but we see a lot of families. We see other folks. We're getting out into other cities. We travel all over. We see what the world is kind of doing a little bit. I think we have a unique perspective. I wouldn't say it's like the end all perspective, but it's still like it helps. Like, when you're out there and you're seeing people all the time. Granted, it's a lot of fans or it's a lot of strangers when you're at conventions or just when you're in the city. But traveling a lot does help. I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the limelight a little bit.
It
Because,
widens your perspective.
yeah, and that's the thing is, you go to some folks who maybe were baby boomers or a few decades after that, and if they live away from people and they're just themselves, how much exposure are they getting to the outside world? Like, I don't want to get any specific topic talk about, but like, if you're homophobic, like, get to know a homosexual. Like, it's once you humanize someone, it's really hard not to want to stand up for them. You know, like, or like just treat them as a human. Like, it's so easy to hate the things you don't understand, and I can say that with like a Trump supporter. I mean, that's like, if you don't understand where they're coming from, like, yes, granted, there are a lot of trolls out there. There's a lot of people who do want to use anger and thinks anyone, a woman who's not in the kitchen is a threat to society, stuff like that, which that's ignorant. And part of me thinks, well, those people they're misinformed, and if they had the experiences to change, they would. But you can't make someone change; they have to want to, because no one changes on their own. So, but like my parents, they're not terrible people at all. Like, I mean, there's just a few things that, like, it feels like it's carried over from their, and because they're not exposed to the outside world as much as, like, say I am or other young folks, like, and they're on the internet, but they're in an echo chamber, like a lot of us on the internet. But like, it's those weird posts on Facebook that are like, like a little bit racist, and you're like, we're in a country where we're supposed to love everyone, accept everyone for no matter color, skin, what religious background you have. Like, it's just weird. And like, I don't know, I feel like if you don't have that stuff in your mind all the time, you're rallying your views to other people based on your very limited viewpoint. And like, I would be that way too if I didn't open my eyes and look around. And it's really, I mean, partly, I know the internet's kind of a cesspool in some regards, but at the same time, the internet has also opened up the world to all of us. Like, like, if you want to know more about everything, you can find it. And
I think it'd be really cynical to say no good has come from the internet. It's connected the world.
There's no excuse to be so close-minded. I mean, the generation gap's the thing. Is like, people use the internet all the time, and I mean, you're either talking with people, and a lot of it is, you're confronting people and judging them based on their views, where in real life, that never would come up. People treat each other with respect, and you don't talk about that stuff really in front of people unless you're in a protest. But and that's the difference. Like, you can be friends with someone who has completely different political views than you, and in person you're like the best of friends. But put you on Facebook together, and someone will what, I don't know, on Facebook, what's the thing where you share when you share something?
Yeah.
Because it's not called reblog there, or retweet. When you share something that someone else is like, I don't believe this view, then suddenly you've opened yourself up to like people to hate you and block you and basically cut off their Facebook friends, so they're in an echo chamber of just people who agree with them.
Yeah.
So, which to some degree it makes sense, but it is a little detrimental. Yeah, I think didn't Obama had said something on his last speech about that. Like,
it's
we need
important
to we need to hear the viewpoints, even stuff we don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Just because otherwise
we're not going to make any progress.
Yeah, and it's not about trying to understand. I mean, it's a little bit about understanding. Like for me, it's like you just have to be misguided. Like there's, I know there's Trump supporters who they're saying, like, oh yeah, of course we support homosexuals and stuff like this, but it's the small little tweaks to that are like oh, but I don't think they should get married, or I should stuff like that. It's like
I've heard people say that,
and it's like, and I mean, I had a roommate who did that when and the voting happened. Like I got a little pissed because I said at the time
2008.
I mean yeah,
right. That was when
that.
California had the Prop 8 that didn't get passed.
Yeah, and
the majority of California in 2008 voted to not allow gay marriage.
And I remember
it was a really dark time.
And I remember thinking my roommate I remember asking him why I mean why do you care, and he's like, well, I have nothing against gay people, and I just don't think that marriage is supposed to be female male, and that's just one of those weird things where I'm like, well, what about separation of church and state? Like, it can't just be based on your religion. It has to be, you have to include everyone, and it's a thing for the state, so you can believe that in your own religion, but you can't push that on other people.
I knew people who weren't religious who said that exact same thing. I have nothing against them, but I just don't think they should get married. And I remember thinking, you're not religious in the slightest, so this has to be some
weird society. It's a society
definitely
thing.
Deep-seated homophobia, even if they don't admit it. Like it's because they grow up conditioned to believe that that's not right.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, none of them have friends or something that are homosexual who want to get married.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but once you see that, like, are you really gonna deny your friend that? And maybe there are people out there, but it's like that's the thing is like once you're, I don't know, I feel like I'm a pretty open person to things. Like I'm open to changing my opinion on things once I am educated, or if I've had misinformation. But a lot of people are stubborn because they feel their views are under attack, and and maybe my views aren't as sacred, but they're sacred in the sense like that I've developed them because maybe I had no opinion, and then because I don't feel like I'm following a bandwagon. It feels like more of my choices and stuff are about morals and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't hurt anyone, it should be fine, other than murder and
right.
sex with animals or something. Stuff like that. But for the most part, it's like it doesn't hurt anyone else, and like you don't have to like it. Like I don't have to think drugs are great, but that doesn't mean I want to ban all of them. You know what I mean? Like I voted yes on legalization of marijuana, and I am never going to make use of that. I don't believe in doing drugs. I think they're stupid, and like I don't need that in my life. But I am myself, and there are other people out there, and I think I would just say immature thing, because that's how I mean. And as a kid, like I was like if someone asked me like, oh, if you could make laws and stuff, what would you do? And like, well, I would ban alcohol and drugs, and that's a pretty. I don't remember saying that, but that's how I feel like that's how my mindset was as a younger kid. Because
we all know what happened during Prohibition.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
like when you grow up, you realize that there's more to it than just banning something.
But also, like I do still feel like alcohol is a pretty big cause of terrible stuff over the history, and over any other drug, I would imagine, But in moderation, it's like, well, no, it's not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, is you can't really control it. So, I mean, you can't stop the people who abuse it, right? That's why laws are in place for basically the people who can't control themselves. But at any rate, taking away it just, I guess my point is having a mind for people other than yourself, like that, because gay marriage. I don't really like marriage. I come from a broken family. Like,
Yeah, we would be against it for the opposite reason.
I mean,
like no one should get married.
No one.
Marriage is stupid.
Well, I mean that would be a little more fair.
I'm just joking, but yeah.
No, I mean it's for some people. It isn't for me. I mean, it doesn't matter how much I love someone. It's like I just what it stands for is weird to me. I mean, and that's just, I mean, it makes sense in my head, but I'm never going to go out and try to convince people. Like, I'm never going to rally like, marriage is stupid.
Marriage is a government thing. That's,
yeah, I mean, most people don't, maybe there's people who get it for the benefits. Maybe that is a thing for some people, but a lot of people do it for traditional things, I would imagine. That's it. And they want to have a wedding, but they'll make it untraditional. Like, but, I mean, but once again, it's for those people. And it isn't for me. And that's why I'm like, yes, support marriage. And, homosexual people? Well, they're people, so yes, let them do that.
They actually had a guest on Harmontown a few weeks ago who was saying the same thing. What was it? Was it? I don't remember.
It was, when they were in Australia.
Then they had a gay guy as a guest, and they were talking about the whole marriage equality thing, and he's like, I don't want to get married, I don't believe in marriage, but like I have to go to the protests and stand with my fellow like LGBT community, because it's like, well, obviously they deserve to have the same rights as everyone else.
It's because
laughing about
it because you're standing up for you're not just
basically standing up for yourself, you're standing up for your fellow man.
Plus, I mean, it's the same thing. You hear it all the time ever since it was a thing. Like, if people want to get married and be miserable like everyone else who's married, then let them.
They have a right to be miserable like us.
It doesn't change your marriage. It doesn't mean your marriage that's, between a man and a woman is any less. It doesn't. But people have a hard time believing that. It's like you're taking the concept of marriage and like putting it in the dirt, which is pretty insulting to like. I know. But to their point of view, I imagine that's what it is. It's like it's spoiling it for everyone else. Like, that's not how it works. That's like how
they see it.
That's like I'm trying to think of what I mean. It's hard to think of like a comparison because I'm so damn open-minded. But like nothing's gonna faze me. Like, oh, you want to do that? Go ahead. Yeah. Like if the goat also agrees to have sex with you, then I think if consent is. I don't know why I jumped to that, because it's like. Things that universally people aren't okay with, like sodomy with animals and murder is like that's
universally frowned upon.
It's never, you're never gonna get away with it. But that's not a great way to end this topic.
I'll end it by bragging a little bit. Like, I'm not. Okay, I don't mean to brag, but I was very proud of my dad because he's a registered Republican and he voted for Hillary because he knew that was the only option to not to keep Trump out of the White House. Like, I was proud of him.
I mean, also like
just wanted to share.
If you're in I don't know, a town, or you're in a household that is very male centric, where the woman is very submissive, is a housewife, and they just go along with that, like. It is going to be hard to understand that there's women out there who don't want that, and like that's perfectly fine that if that's what you want to be, but it's just so stupid to think that what exists in your house is exactly what out there. I mean, think at all the cultures and stuff out there. Like, I don't know. It seems obvious to me. Like nothing is the same as what you think is normal for you, and you can't impose it on other people. Another thing is like it doesn't do anything to what you want to do in your household. Like. I don't know why people can't wrap their brains around that. It's like you
live
can
and let live.
And another thing is like it's okay to be angry at stuff that you don't like. Like, I mean, if I really wanted to, I could be angry at people who do drugs or do alcohol or stuff like that. But I'm not. But at the same time, if I was, as long as I hate to say it because it's kind of stupid, but as long as you can tolerate other people, that's all anyone's asking.
No, it's not stupid. I think that's
be bitter
important.
about it. You can go try to have your rallies with 5 people who agree with you.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. Is like we're a democracy. It should be like what's going to open it up for the most of the people to agree with. Yeah. And sometimes it's like agree to disagree, sure, but there are you can't have laws and stuff that are going to impose on that. Like if you can't agree to, everyone has to have, because taking away stuff from people is terrible, but allowing people to have things is good. And if you don't think that someone should have something, then you're on the wrong side of morality, I would believe. Even if you don't, because you don't want to. How do you deny people something? Like you can deny a prisoner the right to vote because it's like I mean, ideally in the law, it's an incentive for. Well, there's multiple reasons, but for the person to committing the crime that would no longer be able to vote, it's incentive for them not to have committed the crime. Like, do you want to use your right to vote? Because now you're just living in this democracy and you don't have a say. But and that's supposed to be a thing. But also it's because, you know, for other reasons. But once again, that also brings up a point of, like, you know, minor drug charges. You know, you cannot vote anymore. And I think that's stupid because
Oh yeah, that's
like,
ridiculous.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's crack cocaine. Like, you're still, you know, that's it does hurt other people.
Disqualify someone from voting.
It's, you know, I feel like it has to be bigger than that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know, I imagine people convicted of marijuana, like illegal usage, like they also probably can't, depending on the state, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and that's just mind-boggling to me.
Anyways, hopefully we go forward. I mean, but it's tough because everyone's. I mean, you talk to friends and, like, I feel like I'm a little more learned about what is, you know, because I don't feel like I know what the answer for everything is, but I feel like I am open to looking at what other people think the answer is, and, like, okay, together we can make a decision, and an informed decision. And, you know, if you're, I don't know, it's tough because you just look back on history, like. It's just, that is the next logical step is women can vote. Well, they also got the vote after African Americans, so people of color, like, yes, they should be able to vote. That's an obvious. So should females, you know, stuff like that. Like, it just makes sense. And the next logical, I mean, of course, we're not thinking about voting here, but we're getting back down to, like, civil rights, like, and it's the only thing you can do, because you can't control people how they feel about other people, especially if they're going to be racist about another race. But you can let them have the rights they're supposed to have, whether or not everyone's going to treat them that way. Like, that's the only thing we can do as a society is, yes, let homosexuals marry because they're people.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't, as a species, we haven't been around as long as we like to think. I mean, we're not very evolved yet. We're still very tribal animals. Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about that on Star Talk, his podcast. They were talking about racism and why it exists, and it's ingrained in us because it used to help us survive. And we're reaching that point where we're evolved enough to be self-aware and self-conscious and see that, you know, those things are wrong, but we're still at a point in our evolution where we're, you know, just another species on the planet, and other animals do that too. They kill each other. It's like, we're not that evolved yet. We have work to do still.
Yep.
But we're to the point where we're smart enough to see it and say, that's bad. We shouldn't do that to each other. I think we're right in the middle right now.
Well,
we've got more progress.
I think we've talked enough about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what next?
Let's get a little more lighthearted now that we've made our.
I need to ask Twitter
a touchstone moment in the podcast, because we don't usually talk about stuff like that.
Song requests.
Oh yeah, we'll do the questions at the end, I guess.
Well, I have questions. I haven't asked for songs yet.
I guess we can do. You can. I mean, it's up to you since
guitar.
You're doing all that. Is that a question?
No, I'm tweeting. David's got a guitar. Any song requests? Or what should I say?
No, I don't.
Should I put SPG song requests?
I'm not one of those people that would show up to a party with a guitar and, like, I'm here. I'm ready to play music for you.
That's like have you ever heard that? Whatever, it's like a Tumblr post that went around for a few years. The quickest way to find the biggest asshole at the party is to put a guitar in the middle of the room.
Yeah, but no, like I don't play guitar for fun, like, ever. Like, it's a means to an end to, you know, make music for Steam Powered Giraffe. But I'm not like, well, I'm not a gearhead. I think I've said that on the podcast before. Is that what they call them? I don't know. I'm borderline on being a musician. Like, I mean, I play the stuff for the act, and I make songs with the guitar, and I enjoy, you know, playing guitar. It's definitely, I get it, but I'm not I don't know. You've seen musicians. They're like, and then I'm gonna play you one of my songs that I wrote. But I feel this is a little special occasion, right? I won't do this too often because, for lack of a better term, I feel like I'm a douchebag every time I play guitar. I don't feel too much like a douchebag when I'm up on stage and people are paying me to play, but in regular life, it's like, because every time I hear someone with a guitar, I'm like, I don't want to hear you play guitar. You know what I mean? I don't go to too many parties, but the ones I have, there's always been someone with a guitar, and you're like, oh my gosh. Like, does that work? I feel like that's a way that for men to try and pick up women. Maybe that's just the stereotype.
All right, we've already got a ton.
What are we?
Oh, 500 miles. Oh, yeah, it's because you posted your little cover of that on Tumblr a while back.
I have my laptop here so I can look up guitar chords for stuff that is steam-powered Giraffe. Maybe something we don't play too often.
I can start listing them off. These are what have come in on Twitter so far. We've got Photographic Memories.
I like 500 Miles. This is that one.
Yeah, me too.
I say we, and I'm like, well, I don't know.
I love that song. Nice little folk song.
So this is more for me than I guess anyone, because I'm the one that's going to be enjoying playing guitar, I suppose. But if you don't want to hear anyone play songs and stuff, I completely understand if you turn off the podcast now.
Yeah, or just doing something kind of different since we're the only two here.
Yeah. And I don't think it's not going to sound very good either.
Oh, I don't have a name for it. Got requests for that one.
We'll see. I'm still like very foggy head because I woke up at like 11-ish. We'll see how well. Let me just play through some of the chords. And then you have to remember the melody for all these songs. Try my best. I wish I had this one had tilted this way because I feel like I have to lean in for the microphone. I'm not used to microphones at all. Let's just put that out there right now. For any of you watching this on the video, you can kind of see it looks normal. But when we perform on stage with steam-powered Giraffe, we have those Justin Bieber headset. I don't say Justin Bieber. He didn't make them.
Justin Bieber.
They originated with Garth Brooks. He made them with Crown. Well, he didn't make them with Crown, but there's a microphone made with Crown microphones that they were built so he could run in front of giant amplifiers and stuff, and it wouldn't feed back, and so they're still used and they've not been changed. They're literally the same microphones from the 90s, but they work.
It's interesting seeing older singers and performers try and get used to them. I watched that documentary about Michael Jackson's last tour, This Is It. And there's rehearsal footage of him on stage they're like, here, use these, the IEMs.
Oh, I was talking about microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Headset.
I was kind of half listening.
But yeah, but also,
IEM.
yeah, most people can do we do use IEMs on stage, and yeah, there's a learning curve.
Yeah, I was watching the Michael Jackson documentary, and he's on stage talking to his director or whatever. I can't hear myself. I don't want to use these, and they're trying to convince him to use them.
It takes a long time to, and we all have the new ones now. These ambient vent ones from JH Audio. They actually, they can bore holes in some of these so you can hear a little bit of stuff, it bleeds in stuff from the outside, but it definitely depletes the bass qualities and stuff with the IEMs when you're hearing it back. But the JH Audio created these ones that have these little, I don't know, rubber things. They're built-in vents, basically, what they call them. And it, for me, I've used IEMs since probably 2011, and I've always bought newer ones that were good, and I used the rest, my older ones for rehearsals and stuff. But these newer ones that I got that I used for the last two shows, I think. They definitely let you hear your voice a little better, and it's hard to describe it to people because it's pretty expensive, and you can get cheaper ones. I think my first ones are $200-$300, but they go up significantly after that because they're just really high quality, and you can hear yourself sing pretty well, and then of course you're getting the levels piped in, and of course you need a good sound guy to do that too, and it's in stereo, so what we hear in our ears is a little better than what you would hear out in the audience, but the best thing about IEMs is you're able to get the level. If you have a good soundboard with a good operator to get, we have Steve Negretti, every person can get exactly what they need to hear for every song. So I get a click track in my head, so I am always on time, and then I also get I get like my voice higher. I get the harmonies where I want them like panned wherever they are on stage, and then I can hear my guitar a little more. Or like if I was playing bass, I would have the bass brought up. So what I hear in my head is like I hear kind of it's great. It changes because if you have a little monitor on stage, there's feedback. It's terrible. So I feel like once we did that, we really set ourselves apart from some musicians, because some musicians really they don't like being isolated, and for me, I still have the fun. I can still hear the audience. I still get it. Like it's not like it's for sound quality benefits. Anyways, I could talk about tech all day long because I'm a gearhead. No, I enjoy technology. I'm not like I'm not a gearhead with instruments, but as far as we definitely make use of technology.
Every time you say gearhead, I just think of Rick and Morty. Because the guy made of gears who won't shut up about the Gear Wars, and Rick calls him a gearhead. Anyway.
If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. It's really hard to sing sitting down.
I wish I could.
100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. Oh, I don't have enough breath when I'm sitting down. Because I sing normally standing.
Yeah,
you can hear the whistle blow 100 miles.
Oh, I can do that.
Oh, I'm one. Oh, I'm two. Oh, I'm three. Oh, I'm four. Oh, I'm 500 miles away from home. 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 Oh, I'm 500 miles away from home. Not a shirt on my back, not a penny to my name. Oh, I cannot go back home this way. This away, this away, this away, this away. Oh, I cannot go back home this way. Oh, and there's a solo here. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Chelsea time. Yeah. You got it. Oh, great. Fantastic. If you miss the train I'm on, this is the sad part, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Oh, then I should go deep. That's what I think.
I could join. I think
100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow. You're a little off pitch. 100 miles, 100 miles. There's a little better. Okay, well that was a nice warm up. Maybe a little.
I tried to remember the just kind of joined in at the end, trying to remember Carey Mulligan's part from Inside Llewyn Davis.
I don't remember.
I think that's a.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a beautiful version of it
The only one
by Justin Timberlake.
The only
Terry
one
Mulligan
I've
and
heard,
someone else.
the only one I've heard is from the Journeyman, and that's probably one that no one's ever heard.
You should listen to the one from the Llewyn Davis soundtrack.
You should listen to the one from Journeyman.
I've heard that one. It's really good.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it has
It's one of my
3-part
favorite
harmony.
folk songs.
There's a version of this that I recorded. Like, it was like supposed to be like a cover song for Steam Powered Giraffe, but it never panned out.
Yeah.
And I recorded just all the placeholder vocals for myself, and I just like, let's throw this up. I might have put it on Engineer-eteers site, but maybe it's just floating around on the internet somewhere.
I know you posted it to your Tumblr, but now that that's gone, I don't know where it is.
Someone's probably archived it. But anyways, it's not bad. It would be great if we actually finished
Should
the
bring it
vocals
back
and stuff.
someday.
We got it.
If you have time.
Maybe. I like the song, but it's also stereotypical. Like everyone knows that song.
Okay,
right?
so we've gotten a lot of requests for Soliton because I'm here.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't
there's other
I don't
ones
want to
too.
deny anyone.
Oh well, I mean, there's pretty much every song has been suggested, but yeah, a lot of Solitons.
Okay, let's do Soliton. Let me find it. I mean, we've never played.
Dante Mancini says, "Jesus, these mics sound so sweet. Wow."
Is that in comparison to the lavalier mics we were using for the last time?
I think they definitely sound better than the old ones we were using.
And I'm already like I was backing off of the mic when you joined. Like, I'm using the distance to try and make the mix good, because it's not like anyone's mixing us here. Just I'm like, here's what the guitar's gonna be this loud. I'm gonna be this loud. So hopefully.
I'm trying to remember my Soliton part. What key that would be in?
Here, I'll play some stuff. I mean, we've never played this song live, so I've done it acoustically a few times.
Yeah, I think I'm that. I have a pretty low speaking voice.
Here,
I don't know.
Here, we can both look at this.
I think it's there.
I don't even know when you sing this song. Do you know when's your first time you sing?
Oh, I know when it is. I can come in on that part. I was just trying to remember the key.
Do you wanna?
I can scroll for you.
Cool, that'd be awesome. I don't even know. Oh, here's a tip. You can't see it right now, but if you ever want to record a guitar acoustically, and you have a microphone, whatever microphone, aim the microphone towards the right above the sound hole, right here. If you're looking at the video, right above it. Don't aim it at the sound hole. Aim it right above it. That's the best sound, and that I think people most. That's what I always do when I record stuff. That's what I'm doing here, because you don't want to aim it towards the sound hole where you're getting picks. It's like subtle differences, but there's my pro tip from a professional who does everything themselves and not a I don't know. Can you call us a professional? You need other people to tell you you're a professional. We do everything from our house. Being a professional and the quality is more of a matter of opinion. But I'm happy with what we've made over the years.
Okay, I'll
it's been
scroll for you.
Boy.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember how any of this goes, but I'm just going to wing it. I mean,
Yeah.
I probably haven't played it in a year or something, but I have the chords here in front of me and I have the lyrics, so. Space and time could come undone, and with the blast create a conundrum, and particles of light would see and burn rainbows across the galaxy. The moon would crumble before our eyes, then break apart and vaporize. I'm gonna take one of these off like this. I can probably hear myself a little better. The stars could the stars could explode and boil the seas and rip the fabric of reality. Well, I don't care if all that happens. Everything is fine as long as there's a you and me. Some of the lyrics are different now because these chords are like from an older one, so I changed them for the whatever. I'm sure the fans know more than I do now. Okay. Even when the sky is falling, back to you I'll travel and escape with no be. I'll keep you moving on like a soliton, a soliton, a soliton. I'll keep you moving like a soliton, a soliton, a soliton. Can we make this a little bigger? Where's the mouse? The screen's so ginormous.
Can I zoom in?
There's a view mode here, I think.
We're ruining it.
We'll do full screen. That didn't happen. We'll do view, whatever. Is this it? Zoom. Fit.
Oh, there we go.
And then you can,
Yeah.
you know, you can also scroll by touching the screen, whatever's easier.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Wait. yeah, right here.
Okay, I'll
Move.
keep you move. I probably did this. Like a soliton, a soliton, a soliton. I keep you moving like a soliton, a soliton, a soliton. I'll go higher now, right? Even when the moon shadows the tide, I will always follow. Oh, my headphones are gonna flip off. There we go. I will always follow you through the pain. You can always count on me through everything. And to keep you moving on like a soliton, a soliton, a soliton. I keep you moving like a soliton, a soliton, a soliton. La 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 la. I'm running out of breath. Getting lightheaded. Can't take a big belly breath sitting down. Oh well. La 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 la. Solitons keep on moving. Am I supposed to go deep here? I don't really know. I haven't heard the song.
That's right.
Solitons pulsing out and on from where they started from. Yes, they sustain their runs as solitons by moving on. And that goes deep.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry anymore. You have torn a path for us to escape through. We can take our time finding our way in this world.
Yes.
And we'll keep us moving on. And we'll break through the dark and find the dawn. Yes, we'll keep us moving on. Yeah, keep on moving on. Like a soliton, a soliton, a soliton. We'll keep us moving like a soliton, a soliton, a soliton. La 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 la. La 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 la. time. I keep you moving like a soliton. I don't know how it ends.
So you should have ended already.
Oh. Wait, I'll do that again.
No.
I'll keep you moving like a...
It just ends. That's how it ends.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, not bad for not playing it ever, except for the album. Well, there you go. That wasn't too bad.
I think
You're
on the
pretty good.
album,
You're better than me, actually.
my first line, you're not singing. We like switch off, right?
You're right. Sorry.
It's like stepping on my toes here.
Yeah, pretty much. Cool.
That was fun. I wish I.
Let's do
had
another
parts
slow
in
one
other
because
songs.
that was. It's really tough sitting down. Like I need to be standing. To
Yeah.
do this.
Okay. Let me find like
and I'm
a.
like getting cramps in my
We just need
chest
to.
from like my lungs not wanting
yeah.
to expand.
Scary World. Saw that one requested. I'm thinking of slow songs. I mean, you could make anything slow, I guess.
You're right.
Speed of Light. How would you even do that one acoustically?
Photographic memories. So I'd have to slow it down a lot because I'm like already out of breath from trying to chest breathe. I don't want to. Let's try it. Well, I'll do photographic. Why not? I mean,
Okay.
do the ones that people are probably anticipating.
A few people requested that one.
Is this it? Let me see if I did this correctly.
Go Spine Go. Probably only do your songs.
I mean,
Go
yeah,
Spine Go
but
is one of
I'll sing-
Sam's
yeah, I'll sing
songs,
a bunch of
so there's
Sam's
not
ones.
really like something we could sing for that one. Funnily enough, I know one of the harmonies for Go Spine Go.
Well, you've heard it enough times.
Yeah.
So this one gonna go fast, but you'll be cool doing that.
It's one of the ones from the album that's like, I think maybe Mike sings it or something. I know that part of Go Spine Go. I could probably sing it.
I mean, I can't.
I know,
I've never played it.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
just,
could. I might have the chords, but I don't even think I have those.
I'm just
but I
thinking.
played bass. No, I didn't even play bass on it. I did. You're right. I didn't do anything on that one. Well, no, I mean, on the album, sure, but live, I never played any of it.
well, I think because Carolina played bass for that one live. There were like, when I first started performing with you guys, we like kind of threw around the idea of me singing on stage, so I actually learned that part, but that never happened.
I'm gonna back this up, and then I can get closer to this microphone. Okay, I'm gonna try. It's this one I've never played. Can you
Yeah.
be
I
scroller?
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll start it there.
Okay.
This one's gonna be tough too, because I don't know how it goes. Hope is very hard when we put ourselves out to sea. We've taken all the right steps, but which doors open with our keys? All the neon fires fired in our brains, we were thinking that our world was in danger, but then we entered the fray. This is a big change from going from the deep to that. Let me see if I can do that. Entered the fray. All the rest they could not compare. Your smile said that you cared, and it felt so wonderful. All these memories, I can't wash them away. They are destined to stay. And is the guitar way too loud in my voice? Because now that I have one ear off.
Your voice is very loud.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I
think it's just because you're singing louder. Solitone wasn't bad.
Yeah. Now all these memories, I can't wash them away. They are destined to stay, and they feel like a heaven. Those photographic memories, and they'll die on with me.
I don't know this part. I don't know.
I really don't know.
I haven't listened to the song that much.
I know there's this part. I can't remember the instrumentation that goes. Oh.
Yeah.
All your faults I did cherish them all. I helped you up to when you'd fall. You did the same for me too. Into my life you arrived right on time. You must have been a sign. And now I'm left with all these photographic memories, and they'll die on with me.
So then it goes probably. Something like this.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Your eyes burn.
I just need to see the chord
Oh, I'm
progression.
sorry. I went up too far.
Your eyes burn two giant holes straight in my heart. My love spills out, conquers you whole. Now we're swimming around in love, and it soaks into our skin. Though mine is metal and yours is flesh, our differences make this the best love in the town, and we skip to every destination. We're putting on a show everywhere we go. Sparks fly from our lips. It's an electric kiss.
I didn't do the timing right. This is tough. And plus, it's all the way up here. It's like up on the 5th fret. It's,
Oh, can I play this?
yeah.
I'll just.
You gotta turn it on though.
Oh.
You don't know how to turn it on.
No, I don't.
There you go. Okay, I'll go back a little. Where is it? Where the heck? Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna play that.
Love in the town, and we skip to every destination. We're putting on a show everywhere we go. Sparks fly from our lips. It's an electric kiss. Static found, frequency sounds. Hand in hand we dance around. I'm generating lots of love, holding your hand. You feel they can hear our motors turning. Yeah, they can hear our motors turning across the land.
I've never played this one acoustically either. Maybe on a live stream once.
All our love, well, it put us at ease, and it somehow made time freeze, and it seemed like it never end. Both of our hearts seemed to intertwine when we met for the first time. And now I really don't know any song. And I just can't stop thinking about. I don't know how the timing goes on that. I need to listen to our album more, I guess. No.
Yeah.
We met for the first time, and I just can't stop thinking about those photographic memories, and they'll die young with me.
And then it starts getting wonky.
Yeah.
I don't really. And then. Let's just skip that
It's
whole part.
supposed to be getting this in.
Yeah, I just didn't know the chords. Hope is very hard to win. Hope is very hard when you've lost the thing you've had before. I took all the right steps, I took all the right steps, and I unlocked the right door. All the neon fires died out in my brain, I grew numb to that feeling of pain. Why did you have to go? Now the slow, sad part, I guess.
All the rest they could never compare. Your smile showed me that you cared, and it felt so wonderful. All those memories, I can't wash them away. They are embedded in my brain, and I am all alone now with these. Oh,
I can do that better. Let me get a breath first.
Photographic memories, and they'll die on with me.
Except it'll be, yeah, whatever. Anyways, okay, that one was a little struggle, but there you go. Now I can say that I tried. What next? What are we doing next?
All right.
What time? Do we know how long we've been recording?
1:37.
And we started at 12 something.
We're almost done.
We didn't start at 12. It was like
Oh, yeah,
at
we
least
started at
12:15 or
12:20.
12:20.
So we should go till 2:20. But whatever. I mean, okay, I'm just gonna start reading them off.
Until I see one that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that one.
That'll be the way home.
Boy, that one's tough too. It's all these songs that I just haven't ever played in
Me
like
and My
forever.
Baby, but I know everyone always requests that one.
I do play that one a lot, don't I?
Yeah.
Acoustically. I could, yeah. Maybe.
Scary World. I don't have a name for it.
We could do all these, I suppose.
Mecto Amor. That's not your song, right?
No. Let's, yeah, I guess we'll do, let's try, I don't have a name for it.
Okay.
Let's see. Is this the right one? I think it is, yeah. We'll just do a fit, and then you get to do the thing. With
Oh, boy. I can't stop yawning. Sorry.
I'll do it a little slower, I guess, because
Yeah, don't kill yourself.
I didn't know how hard it would be sitting down playing guitar. I mean, yeah, we do the thing, but I mean, even when I record, I stand. I can't recall any time that I've sat down to record. And I don't sit down and sing and stuff at the same time either. So. How does that go? It starts with the. Ding ding. Ding 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 ding. Okay, there we go. Now this is no pressure, no pressure. Let's start.
Well, it's the way she smiles and the way I swoon when she winks at me from across the room. It's the way she laughs and the...
Wait, is that how it goes? No, it goes.
It's the way she laughs.
I'm forgetting how the guitar goes on this one.
It's the way she laughs.
Oh, I'm doing it too fast. Sorry, I'm getting a little flustered here.
It's the way she laughs and the way she cries. It's the way her hand fits perfectly in mine. Well, I don't have a name for it. Been trying to find a name for it, but I don't think there's a name for it. But it's kinda like being in love.
Those aren't really the lyrics. I put a button there accidentally. Play on.
Well, it's the way she makes me feel inside, like I'm not like the rest or any other guy. It's the way we talk and the way we sing about the universe and every little thing.
Yeah, sorry. It's because the microphone's in the way, so I have to I can pretty much only sing this
Oh
much.
gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Do you want me to do this?
Oh, I guess that works. Yeah. Not that I,
I didn't
need
know
it,
that, 'cause
but
I-
these songs I just haven't done much
Yeah.
of. I don't really know the chords, so when I look at you, I'm like, I can't see it.
I didn't know that
It's not like we had a plan or anything.
because I can see the whole screen.
Where did it go from?
You're here.
Well, I don't have a name for it, been trying to find a name for it. I don't think there's a name for it, but it's kinda like being in love. All I'm saying is what my heart is playing on its string so loudly. Its feelings declared proudly. This feeling is staying 'cause my heart is blazing. It's on fire and won't go out. It won't go out.
That's the jug.
Well, it's the way she can twirl on the face of a dime, and the way she's always there, like my partner in crime. It's the curl of her hair and the gleam of her eyes, and the heart in her chest that beats in a rhythm with mine. Well, I don't have a name for it, been trying to find a name for it. I don't think there's a name for it, but it's kind of like being in
I couldn't make it.
I was like, oh my god, he's turning red.
No, I couldn't make it. I took as big a belly breath, but whatever. So I got,
Well,
I got,
sitting
I,
is
I
pretty
got,
hard.
I got almost one measure to the end. I mean, I only had to do it. Well, it'll
Yeah.
take once.
Good job.
Okay. Anyways,
Let's take a breath. I mean, we don't have to do many more. We haven't done questions yet.
yeah,
many
we can,
more?
we can break it up with questions.
Yeah.
Let's do one more and then we'll do some questions.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any song that I would want to play.
Yeah, is there
I
anything?
don't have any
Okay.
ideas. I've heard all of my songs.
What about That'll Be the Way Home? It's an older one. Or do you want to stick to newer ones?
That one's okay. I don't know. It's better with harmonies.
You know, that's like my dad's favorite Steam Powered Giraffe song.
No. Did not know.
I mean, I don't know like how true that is, but you know, I've given him all the CDs and he
Okay,
always
we'll do
said-
it. We'll do it.
No, we don't have to. I was
Well,
just
we're doing it.
saying.
Be the way home.
He told me once he's really bad with song titles. He never knows like what songs are called. He was like, I really like the That'll song. I was like, oh yeah, I think I know which one they're talking about.
I might have to go into my.
He likes it, I think, because of like the Navy aspect of it. His dad was in the Army.
Okay, should I have it? This one I don't think I can. I can't zoom into this one because it's. Actually, maybe you can. Can you? I don't think. Right, I can't enlarge that, but can you like enlarge all the text? Because it's on a different. I don't have that on Google Drive, so I can't.
I just like
Select all,
select all.
and then just like increase the font size. It would be down there.
Oh.
Good enough. Okay, and then you'll just have to scroll, I guess.
Yeah.
All these songs they don't know how to play. Hey.
Oh, they
if
want to
y-
know what this is. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Okay. Good call. Man, I haven't done this one in a long time. Why is everyone? No, I don't know. I should be able to play all these songs.
It was. I think it was only like one or two people.
Well,
but-
no one wants to see Clockwork. I can play that one without looking at
Yeah.
any screens. You know?
Well, a man takes off from an airfield and he's a soaring very far from home, 'cause he flies a B-17 straight through the sky. But he's homesick and he knows it'll be a long time till he's done. And he's got a beautiful girl waiting at home. But he opens up a letter from her. She writes, here's a color picture of me. Just head towards my blue eyes when you're finding your way back to me. Well, that back to me. What the heck? These aren't the right chords. Do you see this?
CFG.
That's not the right.
No chords though.
What the?
They're wrong on the document.
I'm pretty sure I have this like on the Engineer-eteers side. I could literally pull them up, but this is like probably my first draft or something. But I now have to figure it out myself because it's not on the. Oh, you know what? I probably had a. I don't know. I have no idea. Well, that'll be the way home. Yes, that'll be the way home. Oh, there's more to it. Straight through the sky. Oh, that's the wrong chords. Dang it!
Oh man.
Straight through the sky, headed towards her blue eyes. Now I just had to do it out of my head. A lieutenant of the Navy took his very first steps today. Nope. Oh, that sucks so much.
I'm sorry.
Onto the ship that would become his new home. He and his wife had shared a very special goodbye when they kissed and then they kissed in the night underneath a star of their own. When the lieutenant gazed up and saw their star shining bright, he knew it would guide him home when the time was right. Well, that'll be the way home. Yes, that'll be the way home. That'll be the way home. Looking into the night. Dang, sorry, I don't remember these chords. Into the night, keeping the star inside. Okay. Are you infantrymen and you riveting gals? Don't ever need to give up hope. Are you nurses and doctors and engineers? Need not worry for long. If we all look towards what we miss most and keep that drive in our hearts, well, that'll be the way home. Yes, that'll be the way home. Okay, boy, that was.
I love that song.
That was like, well, for me, it was like pulling teeth. But,
Sorry.
but that's what it's gonna be like for any of these ones that I haven't played in forever, because I'm like, because I like rehearsal. That's why when you go to a show, it sounds good.
You should play Clockwork. That's my request.
I don't want to.
Oh, you said you know that one.
I know.
thought you meant you wanted to
No,
play
I'm
it.
just being difficult.
Okay. Salgexicon.
Oh man, I don't know if I've ever done
Someone
that.
asked for on the Engineer-eteer chat.
I mean, I've never done it, I don't think, so now I kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I wrote down chords, so I don't know if I'd be able to figure it out. Did I play guitar for that one? I think I did. Maybe I didn't.
I don't remember. Like sometimes I was here when you were recording, but I don't know. Want me to enlarge it?
Yeah, just click that and put fit. Okay, I think I know it. And let me just double check if there's any chords that I don't know. Nah, I know all these. Okay. Any chords that I'm not unfamiliar with. As a musician. No, I'm not a musician. Okay.
Isn't it that high one?
Yeah, if you want to join in, go right ahead.
I don't remember exactly where it is, but I'll try.
Okay. It's every time you hear the words.
Okay.
It's like a call and response,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Born in dragon's blood, raised by a sorcerer, he learned the magics.
So Gexico.
Yeah.
A tear from his eye as his
Oh, I think I'll need that.
Oh,
I don't know it quite.
I'm sorry.
A tear from his eye as his mentor died, teleported him to safety.
So Gexico.
Salgexicon, Salgexicon.
Salgexicon.
Now he fights evil with his best of friends, Salgexicon.
Salgexicon.
They all have each other to the very end. Adventurer, roll call.
This is a lot harder than it. It's fun, but I
Scarla the War Witch slices and dices. Her magic is deadly. She's also the sister of Salgexicon. Ardus the Magnificent smashes things up. He throws down his mace and things explode to the sky. Scourgevum the dwarf has a big axe. That's pretty much all there is to know about him. Then there's Bessie, the undead minotaur. She reeks of undead flesh and smells really bad, but the others try not to say anything. And of course, there's the leader of this group, who needs no introduction. His deeds of greatness and compassion travel the land. He is known all around and everywhere as Salgexicon.
Salgexicon.
Vanquishing evil wherever he goes. Salgexicon.
Salgexicon.
Saving everybody from all the bad guys.
I don't know how long ago.
Salgexicon, Salgexicon, save me, save us. Salgexicon, Salgexicon, sorcerer of grey. Salgexicon, Salgexicon, you'll always be in our hearts. Salgexicon,
Salgexicon.
it is, I can see his tears of magic always save the day. Salgexicon,
Salgexicon.
a truer friend and companion there never was. Salgexicon.
Salgexicon.
Sal.
I don't know how to do. It's so hard to do an A sharp. Hold on. Can I do this? Wait. Zicon and friends and Bessie the Minotaur. That's really
pretty rough for me. It was fun though.
It's okay. I can do the G sharp. That's really easy. Oh, it's so hard. I don't do an A sharp ever really.
But you did it for the recording.
Well, I only had to.
Do it once.
Yeah, I don't have an A sharp in my head.
I gotta take a bathroom break, so you can like
Yeah, whatever.
do another song or whatever
No,
until I
never.
come back.
I'm not good at them weird sharp A sharps because like you have to use like two fingers and like I can't just make a chord and you have to bar it, but you have to use like one finger and I'm not good. Anyways,
So
well, since Chelsea's going to the bathroom, I guess I'll just pick a song at random.
there was on a crescendo was
we're just gonna do Fire Fire, since I know that one. Okay. And watch me not know it. No, I play this one all the time. It's in our current set lists, obviously. Well, it wasn't last year too, so for a while. I'm just tuning. I'm tuning up since I'm changing the key with the capo. There we go.
Hope it can make it, stop and break it. The doors are all locked down. I'm flying on my feet. Gotta reach that corridor. Sirens are blaring, screams from the staring as they watch him cry. He's holding on as he's ripped from the room, engulfed in flames, but they'll be out soon. Oh, it's such a shame of all the things to go wrong while out in space. Fire burns much brighter when oxygen is the supplier, and fire is killing his desire to not be cold as he expires. Oh, burning in space. Oh, burning in space. I wake from a cold sweat. How could I forget? I've seen this all before. The red lights are spinning now, round and round as I hit the ground. Warnings of pure dread heard on the overhead in a monotonic tone. There are men and women trapped in that room, flames scorching them, but they'll be out soon. Oh, it's such a shame of all the things to go wrong while out in space. Fire burns much brighter when oxygen is the supplier, and fire is killing their desire to not be cold as they expire. Oh, burning in space. Oh, burning in space. Fire burns much brighter when oxygen is the supplier, and fire has killed their desire to not be cold as they expire. Fire burns much brighter when oxygen is the supplier, and fire has killed their desire to not be cold as they expire. Fire burns much brighter when oxygen is the supplier, and fire has killed their desire to not be cold as they expire. Fire.
Okay, I had that one. It was a little better. Because I know it. Because I know that one.
Very nice.
This is good. This is a good warm-up after being sick for so long. That was like a week where I didn't sing really at all.
Yeah.
Once again, I guess I'm not one of those people that sit down with the guitar and like, I'm going to sing. I pretty much just practice the show. I don't really do anything else. Like, guitar, my favorite friend. That's not me. That's not me, dog. Okay, whatever.
What are we doing now?
Let's have questions.
Okay.
Let's answer some questions, and then I mean, we're really getting all wait, it's 2 right now. We're gonna end at like 2:20. Okay.
2:20ish.
Cool. Yeah, 2 hours of me messing around.
Okay,
and Chelsea enduring.
What? I've had fun.
Okay.
This question came in on Twitter like last week through direct message, so I was like, I'll save it for this week. Hey, Walter Robotics automatons and workers. My Atoma Scouts are wondering, what are your favorite Girl Scout cookies? Thin Mints. Thin Mints.
What are the peanut butter ones?
Tagalongs.
I like Tagalongs, and I hate Thin Mints.
Well, yeah, because you don't like mint.
Because I don't like mints.
Thin Mints are delicious. I can eat an entire sleeve in like one sitting.
I don't know why you'd want to eat a cookie that's filled with toothpaste, but okay.
When it's chocolate mint.
Chocolate toothpaste just as bad. It's an acquired thing. You know, I understand that there's different people out there, but if I'm ever president, I'm gonna ban mint in general.
And I'm gonna stage a protest against that.
I mean, I can deal with mint toothpaste, but even then, I don't think I have mint toothpaste. Well, it's like spearmint. I don't know what. Anyways, it's okay for
spearmint is disgusting.
I'm not eating it.
I like peppermint.
I don't eat, but I think it's because I have the disconnect, and I've eaten mint before, and I can stomach it more than like coffee.
There's different tastes. There's different mints too. Like I hate spearmint. And
that's what they tell me, but guess what?
Peppermint.
It's all mint to me. I don't like it. It tastes like this plant doesn't want me to eat it.
So anyway,
is that just me? That's like salsa too. Like if it's too hot, like I mean a little bit of spice is okay, but
I like Samoas.
What are those?
Those are the like caramel coconut ones with the chocolate drizzle.
I mean that's okay. Coconut's kind of meh.
So good.
But I've never had Girl Scout cookies like people obsess over them. I mean.
Oh, I mean, well, I used to be in the Girl Scouts.
I know what they are. I definitely like the peanut butter ones.
I've tried all of them. We used to have like boxes and boxes left over from when I sold them. The plain shortbread ones, the trefoils are good.
What about people who are they don't have Girl Scouts in the UK and right?
Do they still make the lemon ones? They're like these like crunchy lemon shortbread cookies with like powdered sugar on them. I loved those. I don't know if they have those anymore.
Does do the UK and stuff? People know what Girl Scout cookies are?
I don't know.
Well, anyways, you can Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing in America, and there's like the Boy Scouts who are kind of like homophobic. I mean,
yeah,
whatever.
The Boy Scouts are extremely
they're
non-inclusive.
more based on religious. Yeah, they're a little more religious, I guess.
And they're not the same as Girl Scouts.
No, not.
They're not like the same organization for two separate genders. Like they're totally different organizations. The Girl Scouts are awesome. They're very inclusive.
But you have to be or identify as female.
They've welcomed trans girls into their scout
like little
groups
boys can't be in the Girl Scouts. Right.
No.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
There's a really, if you're going to watch one Parks and Rec episode, I'll show you the one to watch.
I haven't seen that one.
It's where they parody the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, and like Leslie's Girl Scouts are like, all the boys in, what's his name, Nick Offerman's camp are like really miserable, and they're like sitting around a campfire like eating beans or whatever, and it's like they start like going over to Leslie's cabin and they want to join the Girl Scouts, and she brings them all in, and she's like got a bunch of like boys in her little Girl Scout group like doing crafts and stuff.
Well, it sounds funny.
It's definitely it's a good commentary on the two groups. Really funny. Anyway,
you handpicked some more questions, right?
I did. Okay, so this one comes from Dante Mancini, I think. If you lived in a virtual reality world of your own creation, what would it look like? And I've thought about this. I don't really like have the desire to live in a fantasy world. So I guess my virtual reality world would be like my life, except I had unlimited funds. Like, I don't know. Like, doesn't everyone just want more money to do what they want?
What was the question?
If you lived in a virtual reality world of your own creation, what would it look like?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to create my own.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone created it for me,
could I have a world where unicorns exist and I can like ride one?
I would just like to see like things that you don't see in normal life. Like, oh, it'd be cool to like walk on a moon in Jupiter or something, or look at here's some dinosaurs, you know, like stuff that you don't get to see in your real life. I mean, the Google. Well, here we are talking about virtual reality again. Okay, I'm just gonna steer clear of it.
Well,
we talk about virtual reality too much.
Someone asked. ask? Do they want to know?
I won't say how amazing Google Earth is on the Vive in VR. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. I think we already talked about that.
We did.
We talked about VR. We've beaten it to death.
Here's an SPG question. Will SPG kazoos be sold before the performances at the Lincoln show? And that's a good question because no, probably not, just because of how difficult it is to ship merchandise there.
Yeah, it's expensive, and we also have duties fees. It's like eventually, I think we made our shipping back last time in the duties fees,
and you gotta like pack it as compact as possible, and like CDs and stickers and like flat stuff is easy to bring
because you have a box and you have multiple boxes. I mean, we could do it, but it would be like I don't know how many we'd be able to
kazoos
fit.
Are a pain in the ass to pack. They have to, when I like pack them to people on our website, they come disassembled because if I assemble them and ship them, they're gonna break, that kind of stuff. They're really hard to pack. So
I mean, we can try, but I don't. It's just one of those things we kind of
and
avoid.
They take up a lot of space. Yeah. Like 20 of them take up like this big bag, this big tote bag.
And we could break them all apart too, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not, but you never know.
I mean, it's kind of like T-shirts. We can't take any with us, like because we can fit like what 1 or 2 T-shirts in a package,
right?
And then it's like, oh well, that doesn't even cover the shipping of that box. So that's why it's like we can't bring T-shirts. But
does SPG have any specific big plans for the 10th anniversary show next year?
No comment.
Yeah.
But I mean, we know it's 10 year anniversary, so we'll have a show, right?
Yes.
Hopefully it'll be on if we can. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be on in January too.
Yeah. What's your favorite monster from Witcher 3?
I mean, there's a lot of good monsters. I like how they're all realistic.
I liked the griffins.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see like there's unique monsters for sure, but then there's like ones that are roaming around and you see them. I don't know. I can't pick a favorite. They're all like
my least favorite's the water hag.
The water hags, yeah.
Oh God, that thing's disgusting.
I mean, yeah, they're all nice and disgusting, and like they look like monsters. Like, oh boy, these things.
I appreciate them though.
I really liked in the first expansion. There's a giant toad, and that's a pretty cool one.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And
one.
that one has I mean, I don't want to. I can't spoil it, but it's like, oh, it's so good. Like
play The Witcher.
Witcher
3. That
toad is like great.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to kill it, and well, I can't spoil anything.
Can any of the robots repair the other robots?
I mean, we've done that a few times when like Bunny, when Rabbit breaks down, when Bunny has Rabbit break down on stage, and then like when we didn't have Walter, or we don't have Walter workers or something.
Yeah. Usually during Bunny's Rabbit's breakdown in Honeybee and live shows, Camille and I come out to repair her. But for a while, for some reason, just the way the set list was structured, like Camille and I I think we were like changing for the ballet at the time, and we weren't able to come out. So we would have like Hatchworth do it instead. So I guess that's canon.
Yeah, it's just in the show, it's like, well, here's a group, here's people that are dedicated to just doing it. I mean, so it's like it's fun to like have the robots like do stuff with each other, and we've worked that in the bits in the past too, but. As far as the more recent show, like up until Sam left, it's always been the Walter workers that repair the robots, which kind of makes it like, okay, they don't touch each other, but we've definitely done it before. It'll happen again.
If one of the Bennetts had to quit SPG, would the other continue?
I mean, I'm just gonna. I don't.
I guess that's just a hypothetical.
Hypothetical. It's a tough one.
It's just a hypothetical question. Like, I guess they're wondering, would SPG exist with only one Bennett?
I mean, it would have to be. I can't imagine anyone, Bunny or I, quitting for regular reasons like other people would.
That's why it's kind of morbid, because it's
it's like it would be one of us dying. That's how you'd have to think about it. If one of us died, would we continue doing it? And I'm like, yeah, I mean...
In some capacity. It wouldn't be what
it wouldn't be the same. I mean, yeah, for one reason, because you have the two lead people not there anymore.
But I'm sure that, like, you would continue the lore
so I can speak... I know that I would continue it myself, but it's a little easier decision to make because I already run all the company and stuff anyways. And, I mean, obviously Bunny helps, but, like, unfortunately, all the stuff I do, like, no one else... I mean, you probably have a little bit of the knowledge of what I do because you help with some of it, but, like... Unfortunately, without me, the company kind of falls apart. That's just because I'm in the position of doing all the stuff that no one signed up to. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Everyone does the creative stuff and all that, and Bunny helps me obviously as an owner of the company, but I do all the the legwork for the. Well, I mean, Bunny does a little bit of it, but you know what I mean. Like consistently, I wake up and do business emails, and taxes, finances, merchandising, and stuff, and everyone else kind of plays a smaller role in that sense. So without me, there's no one to really pick up the.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not to say that someone couldn't do it. It's just if I
learn
die
how.
suddenly, no one would be able. I wouldn't be able to teach the systems to anyone.
Yeah.
And teaching them now it'd be pointless because
that's a lot of
I mean,
time to put
it's like
into it.
anyone can do that, but it's like there's so many little things like, I run the Engineer-eteers site. There'd be things like if things go wrong, who do you go to? Because I'm the only one that knows. I don't know how to. It's a tough decision. It's a tough thing because there's no way I could teach someone everything that I do because I know so much.
Right.
And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. It's just like little things like the pet giraffes. No one would be able to figure that out because I coded it myself.
Yeah,
and it's really crappy code. And you could find one person to figure that out, but then with the videos and stuff, like how did this happen? And the audio. That's the weird. That would probably be a big one.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like I've made Mike as well in the past, but with his instrumentation. But like I feel like I've made the sound of whatever albums sound like, and you'd have to find someone who's really good at that. And I'm not saying I'm really good, but I'm one person that can do a bunch of things, and we don't have to pay someone else to do it. So yeah, it'd be tough I'm sure Bunny could do it, but it would have to be a reimagining. You'd have to find someone, and then of course Bunny and I get along, and I don't want to think about who would do stuff out without me, but yeah, I could definitely go. It would be tough creatively without Bunny, but as far as like a sinking ship, it would not be. It would be like, would anyone come to our shows because Bunny's no longer around?
Yeah.
That would be what it would be. Not like without me. I would worry that
the company side of it,
yeah,
like the company wouldn't
would fall
survive.
apart. Yeah, because no one knows how to run it. Like,
But without,
yeah. Anyways, that's a depressing kind of thing. But I guess
it's
we would all try our best.
Yeah.
It just I think it would be really hard without me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just because I do so much, and yes, we've pushed stuff off onto you over the years, and like I don't hand ship things anymore. That's what we used to do, Bunny and I. We've given that
I can't
over to you and
imagine
stuff.
you having to do that.
It's
just how the company grows.
Well, no, I would have no time to do anything if I had if I had to ship merchandise, and so we're big enough that it requires you now to help with that. But like we've given some of these things that we all do, like because Bunny used to like do a bunch of things, contracts and stuff, but it went over to Chelsea and I took that up from Bunny when it was obvious that.
And honestly, it's a 2-person job. You got to have
two
pairs of eyes.
And it used to be Bunny and I doing everything together, but then then we start dividing it up, and it's like, okay, we don't need to be doing this anymore because we need to focus on the act. We need to focus on this. And that's what our goal has been, is like when it feels like we're stretching ourselves too thin, we have to push it on to other folks. Like social media, you do a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
We still do some of it, but so. But there's still a lot of things that like I can't imagine. A lot of it can be, probably divvied up to like other people that you could hire to do, but it's like, would we even make enough money to even afford that? Like, just a lot of stuff. I know a lot about the technical side of stuff, and Steve could definitely run the live show. He knows all about the live show and stuff. But like tracks and stuff, like I give Steve those backing tracks. Like, there's just so many little things where, like, it would be stupid of me to try to write up a document with everything. Yeah. Like, this is how you do it, because I don't know because it's not like I do one job. I wear many hats, and it'd be hard to describe all that to someone.
Yeah.
So
no, it'd have to be like a huge document with chapters. Like, this is how you do this.
And it would be. And how long would that take me to write?
I know.
What if I die in the middle writing it?
Oh, okay.
That's not to say it couldn't happen. It's just like I'd have to have someone literally shadowing me for their whole life, and there'd be no income for them, and no one would do it. And the recording and stuff too, like the mixing, like there's. Bunny would have to find someone who would be able to do that, because I transpose a lot of their songs and stuff. Sam helped as well, but it would be different. It would be completely different. And without Bunny, we wouldn't have Bunny songs. So creatively, it's like that's the one that is consistent with both of us. Is like, would anyone care? I feel like without me, I think it would go on, because Bunny songs have been the most popular. I have a few, one or two, but Honeybee and that stuff, and so yeah, it's a weird thing to think about. But once again, it would be one of those things where you can't plan for something like that. I mean, we can plan for a third person going because it's happened a few times, and it's not for reasons. It's for reasons out of anyone's control. Like it would, like us dying. Like, anywho.
And another question. We've got 2 separate lunch machine questions. That lunch machine has really
We've
taken
already
off.
answered them. We've already answered the lunch machine questions.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you can go to a previous podcast.
Yeah, these are...
Go to the start on the lunch machine.
There's a little bit of a
one.
spin on this one. I thought it was interesting. It's if we were loaded into the lunch machine's memory banks, which time period would you like to be called to when someone dials you up to have lunch with you? I think it'd be really cool to go back to like ancient times, like ancient
Why
Egypt
would
or
anyone
something.
care to eat lunch with us?
It's a hypothetical question.
I'm not.
If you, lunch machine like has nothing to do with it. At this point, it's a time machine. I think it'd be cool to.
Who the
like,
heck is calling
I
us
think-
like, oh, David, out of everyone in your current time? Like, no.
I think it'd be
I don't
really
think that highly
cool
myself.
to talk to someone from like ancient times.
Why would someone from ancient times have the time machine? Because they're
You're
calling
putting
you.
too much thought into it.
Am I?
It's just a fun question.
You know, the people who saw
if
saw
someone
that dress as white and gold, their frontal lobes were doing the extra processing work that it
Yeah.
didn't need to do, and that's why that we saw
like it's
white
fun.
and gold.
Like if someone summoned you from another time period, what time period would you want to talk to someone from?
Well,
Ancient Egypt. That's my pick.
so this would be an ancient time machine, like very.
No, it could be anything. Like someone in the chat said, I would want to go to the 60s. I would want to have lunch with someone from the 60s.
Okay, but logically,
You're overthinking
no.
this. It's
These are the important questions. If I was listening to the podcast, I'd be rolling my eyes like, ugh, why aren't they talking about the issues? I don't know. Yeah, the issues of if it's say a pharaoh is summoning you back. Like, okay, so they have a launch machine that's modern. I'm like, no, the only way that would work out is if in that question you have the stipulation like if it was an ancient time, it would be an ancient time machine that's made of stone and weird magical gems or something.
okay.
But if it's someone in the future, which if you don't want to add too much to the question, it would have to be someone from the future because they have time machines in the back. Past.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway,
I was trying to have fun with the question, but
not me. No, I'll have fun with it after we get the logistics down of how this is working.
who cares
What?
about the logistics?
Well,
It's
if
just
Bunny was here, Bunny would also want to know
Okay.
the hard questions.
all right.
But that's not to shit on the question. That's just because that's where my brain goes immediately.
Yeah.
It's like I have more
But
questions
just
for your
disregard
question.
all those. If you could meet with
See,
one
I'm always
person.
like, I'm already like,
Just-
if you can see my eyes, I'm like, no.
Who cares
like,
about the logistics? It's a fantasy question.
disregard?
if someone like from another
So it's
time
a
period
fantasy
wanted
machine.
to talk to you,
So magic. It's
Yeah.
a magic time machine rather than technology.
I always assumed the lunch machine was magic.
No, it's. Oh, I don't know. Not that we know.
Why are we arguing about this?
Magic. Okay, ancient times magic because maybe magic exists.
It's fun to think of like out of all the time periods, who would you want to talk to? I don't know.
Boy, isn't that the same question
I
as
think
the lunch thing? Or
it's like when you're
Isn't this
little
the
and
same
you have
question?
a fascination with like dinosaurs. You know, it's like I want to see the world in a way I've never seen it before. Like it'd be cool to see the 60s.
but isn't this the same question of it's just we're the ones being called
Yeah.
by someone using the lunch machine?
Mm-hmm.
So in the future, someone gives a shit about us enough to have lunch with us, and then we're hoping that's what the question is. We're hoping that it's a certain time period and a person, or is it just the time period? I'm forgetting the question.
They're
'cause
just using. I think they're just using the lunch machine because it already exists as a concept with the podcast. But basically, like they're asking, what time period would you like to visit?
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I was getting too much into the questions,
Yeah.
obviously, but not that wasn't important. I'm sure there's people out there that are like, these are
Yeah.
important. I'm glad David's asking
there's a
these
lot of lunch.
questions.
They love the lunch machine. I'm gonna go to another one.
I guess in my mind, the future is the only time you can go back because you can't travel into the past unless they have their own damn lunch machine, which in my mind they don't. So feel free to argue online about it. But
The other one, the other one, real quick, was out of all the people who passed away in 2016, who would you call to have lunch with? I don't remember when David Bowie passed away. Was that this year or last year? Early 2016, I guess.
That's a
don't
tough
know.
one because that's like, well,
A lot of people died,
yeah.
and I can't remember.
I mean,
them
it's just
all.
one of those things because I any of them, I guess, because to pick
Yeah.
one would be like, well,
I mean, Carrie Fisher's the obvious
yeah.
choice for me.
I mean,
guess,
I hold most of the
because she just seems so amazingly crazy and fun.
But at the same time, it's like,
with.
even in real life, like, those people aren't going to have lunch with me. So, you know what I mean? Like, so to bring them back from the dead, I mean, that's why we did like something like Abraham Lincoln, where it's like, there's not even a chance, like, if they were still alive, you know?
Yeah.
That's why those people make a little more sense in my brain. Because if it's just someone who died recently,
it doesn't have to make sense. It's just a.
But that, once again, it's like they died
question.
recently. It's like that's my brain can't even.
Yeah, you're thinking about it too logically.
I don't even want. I don't
like.
I
know Carrie Fisher doesn't know who I am or wouldn't want to have lunch with me, but it's like out of all the personalities who passed away, she seems like the most fun to hang out with. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know any of them personally, so that's. But you know, like that's why Abraham Lincoln is like, well, no one knew them in.
Linkler. Rudolph Linkler.
Oh yeah.
And I can't stop quoting Rick and Morty. Sorry.
Okay, I'm not good at answering these questions.
Okay. Now that you've confirmed Lincoln, what do you want to do this year that you didn't do last year? Fish and chips. I missed fish and chips.
Is that what the question was? What didn't we do in Lincoln, or were they talking about shows?
What do you want to do this year that you didn't last year? I don't know what they're talking about.
I'll be honest. I only care about the show. I mean, everything else is just what is it? Extra. What's the word?
Extracurricular?
No. I don't know. A bonus. It's a bonus.
Yeah.
And I don't even look forward to the bonus because
I mean we
don't
really do touristy things, but I meant to get fish and chips last time we were there because I had never visited the UK before, and we never got around to it. So I'm gonna try and eat some next time I'm there.
Well, Chelsea is definitely the person to answer these questions because it sounds like I'm just gonna shit on all these questions. I'm not trying to. It's just. I'm not saying what you want to hear.
I guess I'm just having fun with it.
What do you want to see here? I'm like, and I get it. Like, yeah, there's lots of stuff I'd want to see, but I'm not there.
Maybe I shouldn't be the one that picked the questions then, because I'm probably just picking the ones I want to answer.
It's fine. I'm enjoying this.
Okay.
I'd be more than happy for people to hate me for my answers.
When can we expect the next SPG video on YouTube?
I mean,
there's nothing really.
I mean, we're working on some, but I don't know. There's no deadline for any of them just because the act right now is our focus. It's either going to be a song from the next album or it could be the YouTube concert that we're working on, but I don't want to give a date for any of that because let's just be realistic. That YouTube concert could come out next year. And I just say that just because that would give me a lot of time to finish it. And I'm not even halfway done with it yet. But yeah, and being sick definitely didn't help. I was definitely 2 days where I couldn't even work, but the rest of the days I spent rehearsing, so... Right now, it's pretty much focused on the show. I mean, we are working on stuff, but I'm wary to say anything.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want. I hate waiting for stuff myself when I'm a fan of something, and we don't have a date for anything. So we will have an album in the future, whether that's this year, next year, or the year after. Obviously, ideally we would want an album every year, but we're not going to force an album out. We had 2 albums in a year, but we worked on them like the year before, and so when we're ready, we release an album. We're never gonna, even though it's beneficial to us to have an album every year financially, we're never gonna force something. But as far as videos go, like those don't make us too much money. We know it's important to have YouTube videos.
Yeah.
We do make a little bit of money off of it, but it's nothing to live off of. I mean, for a company at least. Right.
What's the most annoying habit a person can have? Oh, I don't know. I have lots of pet peeves.
Yeah, pet peeves are easy because it's like.
But I mean, pet peeves are different than like habits.
I mean, because anything can get in your nerves, and I could say, well, people chewing gum just in general. But at the same time, like if it's someone I cared about, I could probably give them a leeway. But at the same time, if it's someone I care about and they do it all the time, it could get on your nerves.
And it's really like loud. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what was the question? It wasn't about pet peeves.
What's the most annoying habit a person can have?
Annoying habit. So basically something they do that they can't control because it's a habit. I don't know. I feel bad judging people.
I know. I guess I don't know.
A habit.
Is not cleaning your kitchen a habit?
I mean, because
I've known people. It gets pretty bad.
More maybe people stuff where like people who make certain sounds or something with their mouths.
Yeah.
They're always like or something. I can imagine that getting on
I
you.
hate that. smacking sound. But
or like they say, or I mean, everyone does that when you're trying to think of a word, especially when
Mhm.
you're like on camera or something. But
yeah, it's hard to, cause like, there's plenty of things that
I mean-
don't like, but they're not really habits.
I mean, because people can say like the phrases that they say all the time can get pretty annoying. Like I mean, and like I say those a lot.
yeah.
Or,
So do I. I think I say like a lot, but like,
that's probably one of the worst ones, as far as like when you hear someone say like all the time.
I
But-
don't know if it's a Californian thing or not. I think it just depends on your region and what your speech patterns are like.
Well, you pick up what you hear, so
Yeah.
I mean that's just what it is. Start talking to someone with an accent, you start
And
trying to take
some
on their
people-
qualities absentmindedly.
And some people, the brain to mouth is slower. I
mean,
think
it
people
always
who
is,
say
yeah.
like a lot or I mean.
Any of those things are.
It's someone whose brain is like their mouth is trying to process what they want to say fast enough.
It's a placeholder while your
Yeah.
brain
Processes it.
thinks.
Yeah.
All right, stuttering. I think I stutter a little bit when I'm because I'm trying not to say and stuff, and I feel like I did when I was younger a lot more, but I don't know. It's easy when you're when you talk slowly, but I always feel like don't want to waste time. Like so,
Yeah.
I always start talking faster.
What's a random nice thing a stranger has done for you? And I picked this one because I can't think of anything. I'm sure something has happened in my past that would qualify, but
Yeah.
I feel like this might be like sad to say, but I think as a woman, I can't recall anything because I keep to myself when I'm out in public.
No, I see that. I'm
Like
pretty,
I don't allow anyone a chance to do something nice for me because I try and stay as like invisible as possible.
I get that. I'm more introverted, so I don't really like being outside with people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can do it.
I just thought it was interesting to think about because I was like, I can't recall any time that a stranger has done something nice for me because I avoid any situation that would allow them to.
Yeah, I'm sure people have done nice things, like I've dropped
Right.
something and someone picked it up, but I've never been like, oh my god. So
Yeah.
being courteous is one thing, which a lot of people everyone encounters that, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've had any things like this stranger just gave me $100 and said you look like you're down on your luck.
Yeah.
Like no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they're.
If anything, like I've been in that position, like where I will go out of my way to do something nice for someone.
I mean, hold the door open for people when their
Yeah.
hands are tied. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything specific that's like people at what, That's not to say
Mhm.
I'm not grateful, but I don't go out too often.
Yeah.
I'm not a public person.
I give more than I receive, I guess. What apps can't you live without? I don't really have an answer for that because if I had to live without my phone, I could.
Yeah, I mean I could too, but that's probably because we grew up without them.
I like Instagram. Like as far as social media goes, that's my favorite.
I mean, I feel like driving directions are the best thing.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Google
GPS.
Maps or Waze or
I've
something.
said that before.
That's
that
like the best. I mean,
That's like the most important.
But once
recent
it's send
technology.
apps entails that you're only your phone. If I could still do everything on my computer, I don't need a phone.
Yeah.
Like, it just means that I would have to go to my house to do all my stuff, which with on my phone, I can answer emails, business emails if I absolutely have to, or I can pretty much edit the Engineer-eteers site. I can do a lot of things that I could do on a computer on my phone. So that kind of, does that mean the web browser app is I couldn't live without? So I can live without any app. Like I'm not tied to anything. I do not get sucked into like games on my phone. I can't. I just don't have and I wouldn't say the attention span, but it's just not fun for me to play a game on a phone.
I have Candy Crush, and I only play it when I'm like super bored. I'm watching something that I'm not really engaged in, or I'm on the plane and I don't
Only
have
on
access
planes.
to internet.
Only when on planes when I don't have a laptop or something.
Yeah.
Like when I'm trying to force myself to.
It's like the lowest amount of engagement you could put your brain into, or something like that.
That said, like SteamWorld Heist is a pretty good phone game because it's like very
Yeah.
it's casual. So go listen to our song. Buy SteamWorld Heist on if you have Apple device.
Reggie Robat asks, "Is there any hope for some SPG karaoke tracks? I'm in need of more tunes to sing at the bar."
I mean, it just, I don't.
I know
there's
no.
yeah. There's
plans.
no plans. Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that.
No. There's no way. What's the word? What do I say without sounding greedy? Like, or there's no way to. There's no way to really
monetize.
make money off of that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no incentive for us to
It's
put
not that,
time
like-
into it compared to all the other stuff we're doing.
Yeah,
Right?
it's not that you're like, I would only do it if I got money from it, but it's more, there are so many other things on your plate
Right, yeah,
that
yeah.
like you wouldn't
Well, if we could
use
snap our
up time doing that.
if we could snap
you're-
our fingers and they
if
exist,
you're going
sure.
to lose time
but,
doing other things.
but like we're never gonna hire someone to
Yeah.
go do it for us, and it's just one of the. It's more about the time to put into it to make it happen. Like, I think our time would better spent progressing the act for
Yeah.
live shows as well as making new albums and videos, because I mean that eats up all our time. Like anything additional, it literally is going to take other people. But I mean, it's just tough because it's just one of those things where people are like, well, I'll do this for you, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's got to be a little more professional, businessy.
Right.
Like you want to hire someone, you can't. Stuff for free is iffy, and yeah, we've done. There's been a few instances of that over the years but it's always. It's just I don't know.
Yeah. No.
We're not actively seeking anyone to help us out
We're
in a
not-
specific area.
We're not this huge company. Like, there's so many cool, like, tie-ins and merchandise ideas and stuff like that, like, yeah, it'd be great if we could, but there's, like, there's 5 of us. There's 6 of us.
And
that stuff's not
and we're
gonna
living
happen.
in reality with our fan base. We're
Yeah.
not super huge. Like people would love to have vinyls and stuff, and of course we could make a vinyl of one album, or one that would probably appease more people would be a combination of select songs that we pick, so it would actually benefit the people in the band rather than like release all our old albums, because there's no way we can how many albums do we have? 7, 8, I don't know.
6.
And if we just do studio
Well-
albums, like there's no way we would
Yeah.
it would just it would cost so much to just even make 500
Counting
of
the
them.
2 live albums, you're right. You have 8.
And it'd be a lot of time. It would take a lot of time. We'd want to make a little bit of remix, do little mixes. I mean, we could just throw them on vinyls and not care about the sound.
Right.
But we would want to, mix them so they sound good on that format. And once again, it's just one of those like, well, if we had someone to do that, but since I'm the one that does all the sound and stuff, like, I'd have to stop doing stuff to do. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll have time in the future, but.
Hopefully. I
We're-
mean,
we're
the
never
hope
go-
is that we'll always have time for this stuff in the future.
But we're never gonna appease everyone. That's my biggest fear. Is if we come out with a vinyl, it's gonna be the one that people don't want. Like like an album. Like what if we released vinyl of our newest album, which would make the most sense. Like for the people in the group, it's like because to be fair,
I just have you just have that sneaking suspicion that all the people who are like lobbying for vinyl are the ones who want like 2 Cent Show
or
on
album
vinyl.
one. And it's like, well, the problem is we could do that. But then
But
it
it's
would
not
be
the
like,
current
well,
lineup.
why would we only do that album? Then
Yeah.
we'd have to do all of them because it would only be servicing people. It would be servicing the majority of the people who aren't in the group anymore. And while that's fine, like I don't mind like hashing out contracts with them for that stuff. It's just like, wouldn't it make more sense to do an album with the people that are in the group?
Yeah.
And to switch that to something that actually would benefit everyone, because we couldn't appease everyone if we had to pick one, just because the time, like if because I feel like if we bought 500 of every album, like we might sell 50 to 100 of each of them. And I can't imagine them selling like hotcakes, like because they're collectibles items. There's a few people that'll probably listen to them, but and then you'd have to like, oh, do we include the album artwork in all these? Do they need the booklets? Like the price would just be astronomical eventually.
Yeah.
And if we're only making 500 of each, because we're not going to order 1,000, which is like literally the first break that you could do at these places. Like we would.
We're too small.
We'd be sitting on thousands and thousands of dollars worth of merchandise that it would take us years to sell. And I mean, we've
Yeah.
been in that boat before with like playing cards, and that's not as big as investment, But with all that said, if we did come out with a vinyl, it would probably be, like a greatest hits. And of course, and then even then, I don't think we would appease everyone, because you can bet your bottom dollar that, like, of course we would put like the popular songs, Honeybee and stuff, Brass Goggles, but we would put the newer versions on, because we wouldn't want to dig up the old ones just because that's the ones that people like or something.
Yeah, totally. And people would have a problem with that.
And I mean, you just have to think about it from a business point of view. It's like that doesn't help Brian at all. It doesn't help Sam. It doesn't. It helps people that were in the group for a shorter amount of time, and it would.
So it's not fair
It would. And
to the current lineup.
And that's the issue, is we would come out with it, and then people would be like, I want this version of Honeybee. And I'm like, well, like we can't. We'd have to do all the songs to make it fair for everyone. And I'm sure we could, if we were lobbying for one song from an older album, it would be fine. But none of the past members would care, like if we picked one album over another, because everyone has different percentages, I don't know. So in the scheme of fairness, like either way, if we'd have to like put down our foot and say this is what we're gonna do. Of course, it would benefit like it would be Steamworld Heist versions of the songs because
Yeah.
it makes the most sense to me. Like,
Yep.
and I don't think and to be fair, I don't know if people want that. So, like, the people that are lobbying for them probably want just 2-cent show on a vinyl, and it doesn't serve the band right now. It wouldn't like.
I know these are like total, like, I'm just making assumptions about people, but when I think of like vinyl, I think of hipsters.
I mean,
and
whatever
those
they
to
want,
me
it's
are the
fine.
people.
Vinyl's cool, I suppose.
I also associate hipsters with the people who are like, their older stuff is better, you know that. So that's where I make the connection in my brain. I'm like, they would only want 2 cents.
Well, in a world where we have unlimited funds, we would just make vinyls of all our albums, and then we wouldn't have to say anything. But because we're small and we have to make that conscious choice of like one album, that's what we would do because it makes the most sense for everything. Yeah. But if we had all the money, of course we would make the first one, make the second one, and we'd be more than happy to do it, and we'd be more than happy to pay all the people from the end. But if we have to pick just one, it's one of those. Yeah, we got to think of the band first because otherwise we feel like we'd be shooting ourselves in our foot.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if like we took a poll and everyone said 2-cent show. It's like, well, we'll just come out with a new album. How about that? That's the. So if we ever somehow generate enough money where we have extra funds to spend, which we've kind of been in that position before, but not really because then we use the funds to fund other shows and trips and stuff to be able to get out and perform more. It's tough. It's tough when you're small and the internet makes you bigger. I think that's the main thing. All right, we're going over now.
Yeah, it's 2:30, and real quick, you can explain what this is for the people who are asking.
Oh, you can go on YouTube. I just got one of these because I thought it was fun. They're called
adorable.
the Automaton, I think. Automaton? Yeah. The Automaton. It's basically just a little synthesizer thing, and if it looks like it's from Japan, and
of course it is. Look at it. It's got a little face.
Yeah, and it makes just a little sounds, and you can like change the pitch of it.
He's like,
yeah. Anyways, it's just a dumb synthesizer.
that's all.
But you go online, you can see people who have like mastered it. My fingers are way too big for it. But
really, I want to watch those videos.
What?
Of people like mastering it.
Oh yeah,
to me it
probably
just looks like a little toy or something.
Yeah, go look it up. I was like, have you seen these videos?
No,
like,
I have not. I'm like,
yeah,
wow.
no, yeah, go see it.
Like you become a maestro of the automaton.
Yeah, you know, Amazon has them. Like they're imported from Japan, but they're only like $30 or something.
Wow.
I say only, and I don't know if they're worth $30, but as for a novelty, it doesn't
cute.
feel like $30. It feels cheap, but
I mean, it looks like something I'd get for.
But
someone.
for the novelty of that, it looks like a music note and it has a face and stuff.
Present. Yeah.
Go look up Automaton if you haven't seen the thing. I guess we can play one more song before, and then we'll do the ending song.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think we're done. We have rehearsal tonight, so. And then I still have to put the podcast up. There's no sleep for David.
Aww.
I mean, there is. I don't feel too worked, but if anything has to get done, it's usually me.
Well, this was the first podcast we did alone, just the two of us, and I think it was pretty fun.
No, I mean, I set up I set up the podcast. I set up the podcast myself, anyways.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's too different for me. That's why I'll continue. I
mean, you could do it alone too, I guess.
Well, another thing is like no one could also set up the podcast. Like, so of course I'm gonna push to make sure that it happens more, because I understand that responsibility of like if I'm the one that can set everything up. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, and it's another one of those things I couldn't explain to someone, like, because I have the video, it's going through the SDI cable into the back of the card of the computer, like, and there's just so many it's things that, you know, probably a few people should set up.
I guess we're not very funny when we're alone. I was like, what should the title be?
I'm never funny.
No, I'm not saying we should have been funnier. I'm trying to think of a title, but you know, it's like, I don't know. We talk about like real shit. We talked a lot about the, you know, world news.
Do you know I Am Not Alone?
No, I don't. I listened to it like once. You sent it to me a long time ago. Can't say I know it.
Draft. Let's see if I can. Oh man. I'll type in the whole thing. I'll try to find. I'm not alone. I should search. I probably could play it off the top of my head, but it'd be nice to have the thing. Here's the lyrics. Oh, that doesn't help. All right, here we go. No, this is Man in the Mirror. That's Michael Jackson song. I clicked the wrong one. There we go. Okay.
Do you need me to zoom in?
Yeah. Well, I guess enlarge it. Okay, so I'm gonna sing the song that I wrote for Aaron Burke, who was I wrote for her to sing on our first album that we replaced with Ice Cream Parade when she left the group, because we only bought like a few hundred of those CDs, and we were like, well, we're going to the zoo, and it would be kind of weird for us to sell an album that didn't feature this person. It would just kind of be like, everyone would be like, where is she? And of course people do that anyways, but we thought, well, since she's only on the one song, and then of course she had like extra harmonies on top, she had octaves on top, we just redid the whole album again. I mean, you know, of course she got money from the first sales of all that stuff, but it was just like, well, this makes more sense at the time. We would never do that now, because like we're not starting from nothing.
I just know this one because every time you guys mention it, like a panel, it's the famous gay duet song or whatever.
Oh yeah, because
because
I released like a version of that we had on when we recorded album one. Basically, what I did is I recorded and wrote the song myself with me singing, and then we had Erin sing along, because she wasn't really a singer or whatever, and then she sang with me, and then I just muted me, and then we put the harmonies on top of her, and that's how we got that song to work. And then I posted the version where I just took out Erin and put it back just for fun. But you know, we agreed to her like, yeah, no, we'll take that song out, and just was her. That was the agreement we had with her. So, and I'm just playing it for fun now. It's not like she would care. And in fact, we'll probably have her on the podcast in the future. Maybe I don't want to say anything just in case it's not something she wants to do, but you know, we're still in touch with her, so we might have her on with Bunny and I.
I'm sure fans would love that.
Yeah, talk about old times or something. And hopefully it's not too awkward. Well, you know, I don't want to talk about Steam Power Draft too much, because I'm sure it's not. I mean, she's happy for us, but I'm sure it's a little sore. Even if you did leave, it wasn't your thing. Like, can't imagine, you know, you become a little successful. It's like, now I'm just putting thoughts into people's heads that I don't know.
No, I get
but
it.
I still
get
get that feeling. I feel that like you know, like, oh yeah, we're still doing this thing,
it's a fear
and
of
it's
like
good.
worrying about. You think about what other people are thinking.
Yeah.
It's an empathy thing.
And I'm like, well, it's all true.
Even
but,
if
I mean, she's every time I talk to her, it's fine. But I kind of get the hint that like, you know, yeah, there's probably some, I don't know, regret, but just like, oh, if it could have happened differently. But you know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't fit, and she didn't really want to do the stuff that we were doing. So it was like a little different.
Lost and scared and all alone, and there was darkness, and all of my fears had grown into a monster I could not contain. It had claws and teeth and oh so many fangs. But then I saw your eyes. I was falling, wind was sweeping, rushing past. I could not find my way back to the ground. Wings like birds would have slowed.
Did my computer lock up?
Yeah.
Great. It's completely locked up. Great. Okay, well, we're not scrolling that.
Make it up as you go.
Yeah, I can kind of see the end of it.
I was falling, wind was sweeping, rushing past. I could not find my way back to the ground. Wings like birds would have slowed my descent but I could not spread them all by myself. Then I felt,
I think.
your hand. I can see I'm not alone, not alone.
No, I don't know what the next. Let me just find this. Figure this out. I can see I'm not alone. No. Okay.
I can see I'm not.
Nope. Sorry, everyone. This is embarrassing. I don't remember it in the chorus, and I can't see it on the. I can see I'm not alone, not alone, not alone. Okay, that's probably what it is. It's not gonna do. I had to hit the power.
I can see I'm not alone, not alone, not alone. You were standing there all along, faces in the distance, reaching out.
That's not the right. That third chord's not right, but I can't figure. I don't know what it is. It's probably that. That's probably what it is.
I'm not alone. I am not alone. I'm not alone. I am not alone. I can see I'm not alone anymore. The sea, oh no, the sea was waiting for me, but I didn't know how to use my fins. The sky was always up there, but my feathers seem so awkward. I'm taking time now to do the things that I couldn't do before. I can do it by myself now, but it's comforting to know you're always there. If I fall or if I'd fall or if I'm just too scared. I can see I'm not alone, not alone, not alone.
Oh my God, I can't remember.
See I'm not alone, not alone, not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
I don't know. It sounds right. I don't know.
I'm not alone.
I'm trying to do both parts.
I'm not alone.
Sorry, I don't know the chords. I really don't. I know all of them except that one.
See, I'm not alone. You can see I'm not,
Or we're not alone. I don't know.
we can see we're not alone anymore.
Okay. I think it was this chord. Maybe it was. Sounds like I don't. Oh boy.
It's totally frozen.
God damn it.
I'm gonna have to turn it off.
Whatever. Should have played a song that I knew.
I like that tweet I saw once that was like, whenever I have to hard reset my computer and hold the power button down, I feel like I'm smothering it with a pillow.
Well,
I'm
I always fear
sorry.
like, is it gonna turn on again? Like, was that freeze up? Like, was that because it's dead, or is it because like Windows sucks or something? I guess I should turn it on and see if it. Okay, we'll play the last song and then we'll get out of here because it's. I guess this has gone on long enough.
We could just talk forever.
Well, or embarrass myself with just trying to play songs I don't remember how to play. I'll try to turn this on just so I see that it works next time. Okay.
Oh yeah, podcast from Steam. Powered Giraffe, it was the Bennettarium. We played some songs, or at least tried to, on the Bennettarium. It was the Bennettarium, and it was going on a long time, almost 2 hours and a half. Why we didn't stop? Well, nobody knows. And that lunch machine question, well, it don't make no sense to me if you're asking about what time period we could go to, 'cause it don't make sense if it's in the past. Oh no. Unless those Egyptians had those magical time machine made out of stone and runes, crystals, or something magic. But I don't know, your question didn't cover all of that. Oh no. Oh. Ah. It was a podcast from Steam. Powered Giraffe, it was the Bennettarium. Played enough songs, screwed up a bunch, and then embarrassed ourselves on the Bennettarium. Oh, I need to get better at fitting syllables into this song. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully with Bunny. Okay, now I have to get up and go start everything. Looks like
That
my
was great.
computer was...
It was like updating.
It wanted to it locked up so it could do Windows updates, I guess. Because that's what it's doing.
Thanks
now.
so much, computer.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Sorry if we weren't funny. We need to really focus. We need to get.
We don't have to be funny.
We need to get better at being funny. I listen to
I'm
podcasts and I laugh, and like if I listen to this podcast, I'm like, I'm not laughing at all.
Well, not all podcasts are funny.
I want to be a funny podcast. I don't think I'm that funny.
I don't think I'm a very funny person.
I mean, we could be funny if we're doing like the show, the
like
Steam
you
Powered Giraffe, I
and-
guess.
Yeah, you and Bunny together are really funny, and like, I don't know.
I guess
but,
I don't default to trying to be funny, I suppose.
I've never been the class clown. I've never been like funny.
It's
in
a note.
real
I need to
life.
have a note. Be funny right before we start the podcast, and then I'll
Whatever.
I'll
I'm
gear
sure
my
that
brain
they'll
towards that.
still appreciate it. We apologize if we weren't funny, and that's what you're looking forward to. Goodbye, everyone.